Hello, Linda's, Rachel's, Danielle's and Sophie's. Welcome back to another episode. You're right.
I can't deal with more names. Linda's enough for me. I even forget to say Rachel. Never
but
mind
I bet
Danielle
out there,
and Sue.
There's some Danielle and Sophie.
Oh, Sophie.
I bet there's some Danielle and Sophie's out there that's listening to us. So, welcome back to another episode of What the Plucks at Beauty School.
We've got some new, I'm just going to say, we've got some new little cue cards and they're not so bleeding little. I feel like...
A news reporter.
I don't know what
right,
to do.
Tonight on the news at 10.
But welcome back, episode 4. And today we are going to be talking all about client management and retention. Mm-hmm. Because it's no good having clients that then never come back.
If they're not coming back now.
We're not about that one-time life. Mm-hmm. So last time we talked to you guys all about social media, and today we're diving into something just as important, and that is keeping them clients happy, keeping them coming back, keeping them booking, and sorry clients if you're listening, but keep them spending. Keep them spending.
Go on.
So I was just going to say, have you ever wondered why some clients return religiously? Like we all have them clients who come back every 4 week, every 8 week. Like when you go to rebook them, you just know, like, you're like, right, we're looking again for another 8 week or 4. You just know.
And if they don't come, you think, oh my God, where are they? What's happened?
Yeah. And like if you have that client who comes in and then they just disappear and you never see them again, you're a bit like, well, did I do a shit job?
Yeah. As the circumstances. I do a little bit of detective work, me, because I'm a bit psycho like that. I want to see if their health and well-being is okay. And if the brows look shit.
But, like, yeah, you do beat yourself up about it because you think, oh, I've not seen them in, like... I had a client yesterday and I've not seen her since October.
Wow.
And she were booked in and I was like, is she going to turn up?
Yeah.
Like, she's never missed an appointment before, but she just didn't come.
Yeah.
And I opened the door and I went, hiya. And she came in and I went, well, I feel like I've not seen you in forever.
Well, that's so weird because I had a client yesterday who, Christmas week, she didn't turn up for her appointment. And I thought...
Dead.
Yeah, got to be. I thought, you've got to be. You have your brows done religiously every 6 weeks. You've got to be dead. Yeah, I thought she were dead. And she came walking in yesterday. And I was like, where the hell have you been? She said, Harriet, I've come to grovel because I missed my Christmas appointment, but I had my phone pinched, so I didn't know my reminder. And please, can you sort my brows out? I was like, yes, that's a good enough excuse.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I just said to her, I thought you'd been cheating on me. She was like, no. She was like, honestly, when I sit down in chair and you see me brows, you'll know I've not been cheating on you. You'll be able to tell. She was just like, I got sick before Christmas. She went... And then, to be honest, January, she went, it's been a 6 week, like, I've had to pay gap in between getting paid. She was like, I just couldn't afford it, mate.
Yeah. Well,
like, cracking, sit down. I thought, I should be charging you extra because there's a hell of a lot to do on these brows now after nearly 3 months.
Yes.
But we move. So, yeah, you can't beat yourself up because sometimes it is just down to life or circumstances why they might not return. But we're going to have a look and have a dive into how we can, like, manage our clients, how we can keep them coming back. And we have got a proven client management strategy. So stay tuned because we're going to be sharing everything. So we're going to have a look at kind of like why client retention matters. So, like, when you think about it, the cost of losing clients. So to get a new client... So to get them, whether that be like online or word of mouth or whatever, costs 5 times more than keeping an existing one.
Wow.
Because you're having to spend so much more time, money if you're doing like paid, you're creating the content, editing, schedule, all of this.
Yeah.
When we say cost, it's not like in monetary value necessarily. It can just be in your time. But it's going to take a lot more to find new clients than it is to just spend and nurture and ensure that your existing clients continue to come back.
Yeah, because sometimes how easy is it to know, like, if you book out, say, 30 minutes for HD brows or whatever, and you know your clients browse because they come religiously every 4 to 6 weeks or whatever, you know that maybe sometimes it'll take you 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you could maybe get another client in that gap, after them or whatever. So it is, it's good to know, really, have them clients coming back, because they become like, you know what products they have. Sometimes you can upsell to them and things like that. And you know what products will suit their brows. And you're earning more money as well, because you can do that treatment faster, because you know what they have. You haven't got to do a consultation as much, etc.
Yeah. And like, if you've got that higher retention rate, your income is just so much more stable, because you're working with clients who regularly book, who very rarely no show or cancel. Like, you almost become and feel a lot more stable in your projections and your forecast of what you're looking to bring in that month.
Yes.
Where if you've got a lot of new clients, and we've all had them, they'll book in and then first time and then just don't show up.
They can be flaky. Yeah.
So that's an unreliable income source, because you never know really what you're going to get.
My mum always calls these clients your bread and butter money.
Yes.
So these are your clients that are going to make your income go smoothly.
Yes.
They're your bread and butter money. Yeah. And they do need looking after just as well as your new clients. So first impressions matter.
Yes.
Always.
Definitely.
Whether it's a new client or an older client, like a regular client, because people can easily get, as well as a new client could easily get offended or have an impression, so can existing clients. And I think sometimes if you have an existing client and you've had them in a long time and they've been coming to you for years, you can sort of lose that professionalism. I'm not saying be super cold and distant and hyper professional with them, but also know your limits. You've got to you can have a friendly relationship with them, but also don't overstep the mark, really.
Yeah. And I think I get what you're saying, and that applies, I would say, for 95%.
Yes. Yeah.
New clients, you're always going to be professional, because that is their first experience. You want to turn them into a newbie, into a returning client, and one of your good clients.
Yeah.
You then have your good clients who you'll talk about life, all about them, who's been doing what, blah, blah, blah. But then over the years, you do get, and I've probably only got, I can count them on one hand, clients who
are just like your mates.
Yeah.
I've ended up having clients that do eventually become your mates, really. I've been invited to christenings, weddings and all sorts.
Yeah. There's some Jade, for example. I feel like we talk about Jade all the time on podcasts. We voice note.
Yeah.
About Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Or just loads of different stuff. And it is that it's finding it and it's reading the room as well. With my clients who I'm close with, you've read the room and you know that there's that kind of connection there for you to get on as friends.
Yeah.
And you can slightly go over that mark. I still won't be should we go out and get shit-faced on weekend, Jade? Do you know what I mean? That's a bit but if I saw her out, I'd be let's have shots.
Yeah.
It's just that line. But first impressions do matter so much.
And happy clients always give referrals. So we have them clients out there that are so loyal to you, and they're so I've got a client, I'm going to shout her out, Emily Taylor. You have literally she is a ride or die client. Even if I was shit, I feel like she'd still come, and she's recommended so many people, a whole family comes, a whole the people who she works with, because she's walking around with everything done by me and she shouts my name from the rooftops. And you do get them clients, if they're happy and you do a good job and you make them feel comfortable, they are going to they are going to give you a referral to everybody.
Yes.
They really are. And there's no better compliment than a referral.
Yeah. I've got clients, I don't know if I've said it before on pod or I've just told you. I've got a client, it was the daughter who started coming. The mum then started coming. Now the dad comes.
Go on, girl.
And I'm like, I just need to book you half a day out, your lot. But it's really funny because they'll come like, mum on Friday,
yeah.
dad on Saturday, daughter like following week. I'm like, oh, I've just had your so-and-so in. Oh, I've just had your so-and-so in.
I sometimes have clients turn up, like mums or whatever, and the daughter's already in. They'll go, oh, I didn't know you were here. Like,
yeah, but if we kind of like move on and look at lifetime value, so client lifetime value. So a little example that we've pulled together here. A client who books every 4 weeks for a year equals 12 appointments versus a one-time visit. So like small retention improvements can lead to massive revenue growth.
Yeah.
So like that one-time client, that's just one visit a year.
Yeah.
Where if you really set the like mark, do everything like that, not that you're supposed to do, but like do everything to kind of like wow them and make them want to come back.
Yeah.
That just one appointment that they booked could be 12 appointments.
Yeah, and it's an experience at the end of the day. People aren't just, not only are they just not coming for, not only are they coming just for their brows or their lashes or whatever, they're coming for that like chill time and zen time. Like I have so many clients that will lay and have their LVLs done and they'll say, oh God, I could just fall asleep. It's the only time I get to myself or whatever. And, you know, like just to lay there and chill. I go for facials, not because I'm really bothered about my skin, just because like, I just like to lay there and have that time to myself and just feel like just zone out. So it is all about an experience as well. And every time your client, whether they've been coming 10 years, 10 months, 10 days, whatever, they still need the same experience as they did the first time. They definitely do.
We are all guilty of slipping out of that.
Yeah, like cutting corners a bit and yeah.
They still get a great result.
Yeah.
Like if they come to me, they'll still get a great result. But on some of my OGs, am I, you know, oh, you know, your aftercare.
Yes.
You know, I'll say like, you know what to do after, don't you? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Where, or like consultation, I'm just like, same as usual.
Yeah.
So you can cut bits, but we're not saying that you've got to go right back on your consultation to as if it's first time you've ever seen them, because your client will be like, you've just done my brows.
Yeah.
But just little things that you can do. And I think we all fall guilty of like cutting corners a little.
Yeah. Even down to like, so it's like perfecting your client's journey from them walking in the door, and even like your booking system.
Yeah.
Things like that, your booking system, your communication, your salon environment, I think is a massive thing. Obviously, like it goes without saying, keeping it like cleanliness and stuff like that, but be prepared.
That's the basic.
It is, yeah. And
might sound bitchy this, but that's the basic.
I know.
You should have a clean salon.
And do you know what? Right, I weren't gonna say it, but I am.
Go on then.
There's some places that are not.
I know.
There's some places that are not, and you know, me and Jamie have worked in salons all over, teaching all over the UK basically, and some salons we went into, we were like, wow. Like, wow. Some salons we went into were like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But the other salons, some salons that we've been in have been like, oh, I won't like to come here for this.
Like cleanliness should be the most basic thing in your salon. So when we're talking about ambience, you need to be thinking like, do I have like a salon scent?
Yeah.
Do you know, do I get by the same candles and people like start to recognise that smell with like coming into the salon? What type of music have I got on? Like if you've got WAP blasting.
And you've got Brenda in that's 75 having her nails done.
Yeah.
It's going to, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to even like playlists.
Yeah.
I slipped up with this Christmas time. I just said, play like A-list.
We have to mime that because otherwise she'll turn on.
There's a playlist on Apple Music, A-list pop playlist. I just usually put that on.
Yeah.
But there were a song that were just repeatedly swearing, and I were doing the mum's brows and a kid was sat in chair.
Oh yeah, and you're like,
and first time I were like, did that swear? Did it not? And then it did it again, and I was,
trying to cough over me.
Yeah. So even just like little stuff like that, or like, do you have refreshments?
Are they offered a drink as soon as they come in? That's a massive thing for us. They get offered a drink. Everybody has a drink. And 9 times out of 10, you'll offer them a drink and they'll say, it's all right, I've already been asked if I want one. Or somebody's already been making me one.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing as well, definitely. And I should be on commission with Aroma Works, because the amount of Aroma Works I've sold, Aroma Works if you're listening, because when you go in my salon, there's a certain scent that's Aroma Works, and I should get commission for it. I really should. So Aroma Works, if you're wanting to sponsor, let me know.
And then just some tips to like help improve that experience before your client even walks through the door. Like appointment reminders and follow-ups.
I feel like this is a must, appointment reminders.
Reminders, obviously, that's pre-appointment, but that's just like a nice little touch. And you know what? Half of the booking systems now do it for you.
Do you know what? My booking system, before I had them reminder texts sent out, I cannot tell you how much a difference reminder texts have made. Like, I hardly get anybody not show up or whatever. And do you know what? They can't even say, well, I didn't get my text. Well, you did, because it's here on the thing and it says delivered. So, yeah. Honestly, it's made such a difference having reminder text, and I think that's really good. For ratings and things like that and getting reviews, it is good to do a follow-up.
Like a follow-up.
Yeah, like a follow-up text message or whatever. Mine don't do it, but yeah, it is something to think about.
On a lot of like, again, the booking platforms. On my booking system, Booksy, for example, there's like email flows that you can set up. So like 2 hours after a client's been in for an appointment with me, they'll get an email saying like, how are you finding your results? Here's some like aftercare just to remind you. Also, if you've got time, I'd love for you to leave me a review. And that automatically gets sent. Then stuff like if they've not been in, I think it's set to 10 week, they'll get an email asking if they're ready to book the next appointment.
That's good. That's
like
clever.
You can set all this stuff up. So yeah, it takes a bit of legwork at the beginning, but once you've set it up, it does it for you.
Yeah.
It's finding the time, and it really is important to find the time to set all of these things up, because in the long run,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because not a lot of people think, they go away and think, oh, I'll book it online, I'll sort it out after. And it slips their mind.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not, because if these treatments are not a necessity, it's not like doing a food shop, is it? I mean, to some people it is. But, they don't actually need it. So they don't think, oh, I've got to book my appointment. So having these follow-ups and these like little push, things, like little nudges, make them book them appointments. I do think as well, I know you struggle with this.
And I'm going to tell my story once she's said this.
I know you struggle with this. I have got a really good memory where I can remember every client's name, apart from one who I called Tina for 2 years and she weren't called Tina. I don't even know her name now. Can't remember it. I just know her as Tina. I have got a really good memory in remembering people's names, where they've been on holiday, what the kids are called, how the dog is. I don't know how I do it, but I do. And I can remember. And we've got hundreds of clients like you, and it's weird how I can remember things.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am now. Who are you? I ain't got a clue.
So Jamie finds it crazy that I can do that, but I can. People will walk in and I'll be like, oh, how were your holiday and so-and-so? Or how were your mum? Or did your mum's operation go all right? How's your, how's your dog now then? And how old's your dog now? Like, I can remember things. It's
I feel
weird.
like I'm getting better now that I'm self-employed.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it full time. Obviously before, working and then doing this around that, I don't know.
You were a bit all over the place.
My brain was just a bit scattered. But I need to see faces.
Yeah.
I can look at my booking system, like in the morning, see who I've got in and think, oh, and I think, I don't know who that is, I don't know who that is, I don't know who that is.
That's mental. That absolutely blows my mind, because, as soon as I see a new name in that, I can tell that's a new name and I think, who's that?
And I'll open the door and I think, Chuffinell, I've been doing her brows for 5 years.
Jamie cannot remember one person who he went to school with.
No.
So if you went to school with Jamie Long, we're very sorry. He has no idea who you are.
Yeah, I didn't like anyone anyway.
Oh, me neither. Sorry if any of you are listening. There were a select few.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's faces. And I think because I don't call my clients by their name.
Right. What do you call them then?
I think because I'm one-on-one.
You don't call them by the name?
No, that's weird.
Oh, right. I get
I wouldn't
what
be
you're
like,
saying.
I wouldn't open the door and be like, hi, Karen.
Why?
I'm like, weird. I'm
Would
just
you be
like,
hey up, Louise.
no, never. Weird. I'd
Yeah,
just
but
be like,
right.
I'd be like, yeah, coming in.
So I think because we're in a you will when you go to salon, you know. You will, I promise you.
Yeah, because I'm one on, that's what
It
I mean.
will all
I'm
change.
one-on-one now.
Yeah.
I don't need to call your name because you're the only person here.
When you get in salon, everything will change and you'll be like, you will call them by the name. You'll be like,
I'm not.
Louise, do you want to sit across?
I'll say, come on, love. Not you, love. That love.
Yeah. It's hard when you've got two of them in which same name.
Oh, yeah. So it's faces for me. I can think, I haven't got a clue who they are. Open door. I know exactly who you are.
Getting to the point, I do think it is kind of important that you do remember a little bit about them, because if they've been coming for like 2 years for the brows done, and you're not, I mean, I'm not asking, don't go into full depth wanting to know every single thing about them and all that, like the brow size and stuff, or what contraception they're using. But I want...
Unless they tell you. This week, I have had, and I'm not saying anything.
No,
I have had
the conversation.
Confessions of
Really?
Oh my God.
You know what we should do? Confessions of a beauty chair.
I can't say anything because they listen.
Right, well, you can tell me after.
Someone has said to me, don't say this on your podcast. So I'm obviously not, but all I'll say is it's been confession central this week. And
wow.
I have been with my knife and fork just like...
Absolutely love it.
Eating it up, loving it.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Wait till you get in that salon and they're all, and women are talking with other women and they're bitching about stuff. Mostly it's men. Come on, let's face it. It's mostly men. Yeah, they're arseholes. No wonder I'm single, because everybody in our salon just slags them off.
Oh, what were we even on about?
I don't know.
Right.
So anyway, yes, so it's important really, if they keep coming for the brows done, like if they've been coming for the brows done for 2 years or whatever, and you just treat them like they're a stranger every time they come in, they'll be a bit like, what? Why don't you know
it's
it?
not welcoming.
Yeah, and you want to feel, you want to have a little bit of like knowing them and, you know, asking them about things that they've had before. But you've had an opposite, haven't you, with it?
Yeah, I think there's a difference between remembering,
and
there's a difference between making notes.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to make notes, by the way. If you want to remember something a little bit about them,
and we used to
put
teach,
it on a note.
Yeah, we did used to say this when I used to teach.
Yeah,
I used to say it like, if there's like some things, but then I went for
yeah, well, we'll just say you went for something. Yeah, we can't say what it is because then it will definitely give it away who it is.
I went for a something doing, and it was just before I'd bought my house, or just as I was buying my house. Went for the consultation, got the price through and thought, can't really afford, it were a couple of grand. Can't really afford this.
It were a facelift.
Because I've just had...
It weren't.
I've just bought a house and I need to do it all up. So I opted out, explained why. Anyway, fast forward 4 years. House was done. I went back. I had to have another consultation just because that was the procedure. Now, the consultation the second time was with somebody completely different who I'd never met. And they said to me when I sat down, how's the house? How's the renovations gone?
Yeah, ick.
Complete ick. Because I don't know you and I've never told you that I bought a house or that I was renovating. So I know they'd put notes on my profile
to
on
make
the
them
system
ask you.
And then asked me, which if it's the same person, if I'd have gone back and the same person from the first consultation would have asked,
fine,
I would never have thought anything about it. They've just got a really good memory. The fact it was someone different who I've never met, no. So just be careful with that, because it were really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, no. Not the vibe that we're wanting.
Absolutely not.
But moving on, because I feel like we've gone off on a right little tangent
we have,
there.
as always.
We want to talk about managing appointments like a pro. Because you need to get, like, who's got time to be fanning around with booking appointments and all of that? We want to be getting on with job. So implement an easy-to-use booking system to reduce no-shows. We go on about booking systems non-stop. We're not sponsored. I don't even get a bleeding...
We should be.
I don't even get a bleeding discount on Booksy. So
no, timely.
If you're listening, yeah, it's just going to change your life. And I know people love doing... I love doing stuff by paper. But a booking system...
changed my life. I got a booking system and it's changed my life so much easier.
Yeah. And if you are going to get one, make sure that you require deposits or use automated like reminder texts or emails and, or fees for cancellations. They do come as like a standard setting now on most booking systems, but make sure that you set that up as well, so that you're not missing out, on people just not turning up or people cancelling last minute. But as well with like upselling and cross-selling. So you need to be like recommending additional services or retail products based on your client's needs.
Yeah.
So like if Kevin comes in for a man brow.
Right. Go on, Kev.
You might not think, I'm going to try sell him some shellac.
Yeah. You've got to know what
he might
they
like
want.
it, but,
If somebody's got, if she's 85 and, you're waxing 3 hairs and a wisp off her brows, don't sell her no growth serum.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
She might not be that fussed about an Hollywood.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You need to be looking at
what... Remember Vajazzles?
Yeah.
What the hell? Where did they go? I feel like they'll come back like tooth gems.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, you're a pioneer for the tooth gems, darling. Yes.
Nobody's noticed it. I've got diamonds on my grill.
But something that's really helped me in the studio, is I've got a TV and I record some of my treatments. You might have seen on my social recently, I did an out call for models that would be filmed and featured on my show reel. I did get some people saying, what the hell are you up to with a show reel? I was like, is that not the right word?
I don't know. I didn't know what you meant, but
like for TV.
Yeah.
So I film the treatments, obviously cut them down. So any parts where I'm not doing anything, scrap all of that. And my clients absolutely love it to the point I've had to film more because clients are saying, I've seen these ones.
Yeah. So while your client basically is sat waiting, if you've got a TV or something up on your wall, while your clients are sat waiting, they can be watching and it can be muted, like music over it or whatever. Yeah. It's just a little idea of you doing treatments on other clients and then they can see the results as well and be like, oh, what's that she's had done?
Yeah.
That's nice. Or even if it's like a slideshow of like your price list.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. My chair is positioned so while they're having the treatment, they're basically watching telly.
Yeah.
And they love it because they're seeing... Obviously, when you get your treatment done, you don't see how it's done.
Yeah.
You
especially with an LVL.
But you don't see it.
Yeah.
So they'll watch and they'll be like, oh my God, is that what you do?
Yeah.
You really map them all out like that? I'm like, yeah.
That's everything that goes into it.
Yeah. And then if you were like, an LVL's been on whilst the client's been having the brows done and they'll go, do you think I should have that? Do you think that'd look nice on me?
Yeah.
So many people have booked on to different treatments just from watching TV whilst I'm doing that treatment that they'd booked in for.
Yeah. We do know as well that not all clients are easy. They're not all. Some of them can be difficult. And we need to handle them with grace, really, and try and be as professional as we can. I know sometimes you just want to say, get the hell out.
You want to smack them in the face.
You want to be like, right, bitch, you aren't paying me enough money. You are not paying me enough money to speak to me like this.
Yeah.
But
please don't hit your clients or call them a bitch. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, so you've just got to keep it very, very professional.
Yes.
Think what the Kardashians would do.
No, because they'd say nothing.
Oh, yeah, they would. Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
So just be as professional as possible.
Yeah.
And you need to set your boundaries while creating great customer service. So It's sort of like, this probably goes back to like when you're having like a laugh and stuff with your clients and you're getting that friendly banter and that. Sometimes there's been the odd person that will overstep that boundary. I've probably had it as an example. I would probably say like people who turn up like 20 minutes late and think, oh, it's only Harry, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not fine. Like, let's just set a boundary here. Yeah, we do get on really well. Yeah, we have a great relationship or whatever, but please don't turn up on Christmas week 20 minutes late just because you think, oh, it's all right, it's Harriet.
Yeah.
It's still going to piss me off, basically. It's still going to set me back and it's going to affect my work. So I think to kind of have a boundary in place where, you know, you say to them, well, I've not been afraid to do it, even though I've thought, oh God, this is probably gonna, you know, not go down well. But when they've turned up late, I've not been afraid to say, I can't do that now.
Yeah.
I can only do this.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be like, because if you're just so forgiving and you're just like, you know, if they speak to you like crap, or if they're, you know, just a bit disrespectful in what you're doing, like, I mean, I've had clients that have took the tweezers and started like plucking their own brows and stuff while they're waiting, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, while they're waiting for me, and I think, what's going on? Like, let's set the boundaries. And I've been like, can we just take this off? Or clients that have been, I've got a client that waits for me, that if she turns up about, I used to have a client, sorry, she's not a client anymore. Years ago, I used to have a client that used to turn up like 45 minutes early, and then would be like, well, just means you're gonna have to work faster, doesn't it? And I think this has instantly made this client who's here feel uncomfortable and think that I'm rushing them. And you've just really, really pissed me off to the point where I'm not going to work any faster now. I'm going to do you at your time. And then she would take a nail file and start filing her own nails. And I'd be like, please don't do that. Please. I would just take it off and say, please don't do that, because you're going to ruin what I'm going to do to him. So it's all about decorum.
Yeah.
And just keeping it as professional as possible.
And I think as well, you can sometimes end up with like difficult conversations in salon.
Oh, God.
Like, obviously, it's difficult to bring this kind of stuff up to your clients. But like, I've had experiences before where somebody is talking about a topic that I'm not really comfortable with. And I'm not really comfortable with them saying what they're saying about said topic.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, you do have to say, and I think it can be quite daunting to say it and say, oh, I'm not really comfortable as talking about this or talking about this in that way.
Just try and cut it dead. I think.
Yeah, because if you don't say anything, they're going to think it's okay to continuously do it.
Yeah, and do you know what
you need to nip it in bud.
I think when you work in a salon as well, the main problem with us has been, it's some clients that are in, I panic and I think, oh my God, who's going to be in at the same time as them? Because you can get such strong, opinionated clients. We've got a client that, you know, can be really opinionated and say a lot of like political things and stuff like that. I don't agree with everything she says, but I just let it go straight over my head because I think I'm not even going to get into a conversation about it, and it's best to keep it like that. But then if there's another client in who hears it, and then they start, and you're thinking, oh my God, no. So just try and keep out of everything, you know, just try and keep neutral to everything.
And then on the other hand, you've got your loyals.
Oh,
turn up on time, don't bitch, don't complain, keep
Ride
it
or
PC.
Bring you a birthday present when it's your birthday. You know, like,
So for you, like, I would say, like, you could call them like your VIP clients, your ones who are your ride or dies.
Yeah.
Not that you want to start doing like giving favourite treatment and stuff like that, but if they are truly them ride or dies, you want to be rewarding them in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be rewarding them in some way. Do you know, one of mine, Mandy, for example.
Go on, Mandy.
Comes all the time, really good tipper. Like, every time, she's a good tipper. Like, I just give her a brow tech other week. I didn't charge for it, I just gave it.
That's nice.
Because I just thought,
why
you
not?
book all the time, you're always on time or like a few minutes early, you regularly book, you tip like, she tips me every single time. A good like from £5 to £10 every time. And
that's
I just
nice.
Thought, take it, have it.
Yeah.
It's no cost, and the cost is probably what you give me in tips today.
And you know, I think it's nice. And you know, like your clients who are like, they spend a lot of money with you. And you know, like sometimes if they're like, oh, can you just do my top lip as well while you're doing my brows? I'll do the top lip. I'll not chat. I'll say it don't matter about that. Like, it's little things like that, you know, that like, I mean, I were actually really nice this week because it was somebody's 40th birthday and she's a ride or die. And I just did her a brows and I went, there on me for your birthday. And she was like, oh, no, don't be silly. And then I was like, no, just keep, it's for your birthday. So it's just nice to do things like that. I think when they fill them in the booking system, the birthday should come up, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
well.
so if they put it in,
so
then
I think it's nice to probably say like, oh, because it's your birthday, you know, like it's 25% off because it's your birthday treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, you know, something nice like that, I think. I've done it before, like with really good clients that have been getting married that have been getting married and having married all the treatments. I've like knocked them a treatment off or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like a wedding present or whatever. It's just nice. I know it's like, you're probably thinking, oh, well, it's income and it's time and stuff like that. And I've been talking about income and that. But I just think it's nice to just give a little bit of something back.
And you also need to look at the bigger picture. So like that brow tech cost is...
Don't want to say it.
Well, I don't want to say it, but under a tenner-ish.
Yeah.
And you might think, God, that's £10 that I've just lost out. Well, it's not, because that client's a regular client.
Yeah.
And she tips well. She books every 4 weeks religiously.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like, that small gesture...
It means
she's
a lot
gonna continue to be a ride or die. She might, you know, come back and think... She don't even buy product from me.
Yeah.
She was just wondering.
Yeah.
So now I've given her that brow tech.
Have it, yeah.
Next, when she runs out, she might start buying brow techs.
Yeah.
So everything comes back round, and just think you've got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
You can't just make money from nothing.
Yes.
You've got to invest, whether that's a free treatment, your time, a product. But yeah.
Even the things like, you know, them loyalty cards. After 5 treatments, I've got them actually. I should get them out for my VIPs. The loyalty cards where you're doing 5 treatments and then you get your 6th one, like, I don't know, 20% off, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But some like common pitfalls, and fixes. So we want to just discuss now, before we kind of get to the end of the episode and wrap up, some things that we see and we've heard and people have, you know, said to us, like, where they kind of fall down in this area, and we're going to tell you how we think you could fix it. So if you're finding that you're inconsistent with your service quality, so we can all do it day-to-day life. You know, you might look at some pictures and think, I could have done them a bit better.
Yeah.
But if you're finding it's quite inconsistent, have a look at making like service checklists to ensure that every client receives the same level of care, like the same service.
And make sure you've got enough time as well. Because I think that, like, if you're booking too many clients in and trying to get so much crammed in, your quality of the service is not going to be as good because you're rushing. Yeah. So I think to keep, you know, like, you're giving yourself enough time.
Another one, like not setting clear boundaries on cancellations or late arrivals. This is a must.
It is.
You need to do it. And the fix, you'd obviously have like a written policy and you'd share it at the time of booking. You'll have it on your booking system. You'll send it in via email. You'll have it on your social or your website.
Or on a text message when they get sent, you know, reminders and stuff.
So then, you know, you have set that boundary. Here is my cancellation and late arrival policy. Like, there's no excuses then for clients to turn up 20 minutes late and go, oh, well, it's just Harriet. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or it's just so-and-so.
Yeah.
Another one, forgetting about clients after their appointment. Like, it's the worst thing you can do is just assume that when they leave, like, oh, see you
in 6 weeks or whatever. Yeah. Well, we're going to set you a little bit of homework this week.
No, we didn't tell them as fix.
Oh, go on then.
Follow up with a text or an email and see if they want to rebook.
Yeah. So we are going to set you a little bit of homework, okay? So your homework for this week is to focus on improving your client retention, and whether that is like a follow-up message, a loyalty offer, remembering small personal details, and yeah, just choose one. Just give something back. think about your loyalist client.
Yes.
Do you want to then say to, you know, when it's coming up to their birthday, do you want to make a note and maybe give them 20% off their treatment? Do you want to, you know, do them a quick top lip wax for nothing, or, you know, whatever, or even like a little follow-up message, or even a like on Instagram?
Literally something as basic as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Choose one of the above, or you can add your own in.
Yeah.
And just see, because I think it will massively help your like client retention and relationship. And if you do your homework, then let us know by using hashtag WTP Beauty School.
Yes, WTP Beauty School. And if you have got any ideas that you want to swap about, send them on into our inbox and we'll share them on as a story. Yeah, we'll share your little ideas, what you have had. We'll put a little box out there and you can put them in, and yeah, we'll share them on a story so you can all see what each other's ideas are.
So,
next lesson,
we are diving Tom Daly style.
He's good at knitting, him.
I know, so are you.
I am.
Crocheting, actually.
I'm very good at crocheting.
Yeah. But we're diving into the world of retailing. And listen, Linda.
Listen here,
I know
Rachel.
we've done it before. We're in 2025, so we're doing it again.
We're
and
doing
you
it
can't
better.
Stop us. Why? Because it's our podcast and not yours.
And if you don't like it, turn off. Only kidding, don't turn off, please.
What
Please
bitches.
rate us 5 stars and listen, subscribe and listen to us and recommend us to a friend and share us on your social. Hashtag WTP Beauty School.
See you next week, guys.
Pass us
Stay
out.
booked, busy, blessed.
I'm blessed. Goodbye.
Bye.